Good morning, small business owners of America. So I just want to go through a quick update. Obviously, things change over the weekend. More and more information is coming out. But what we're going to cover real quick in this video, a couple things. So with the passage of the CARES Act, there's still the EIDL, which is the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Assistance. But in addition to that, there is also the PPP, which is the Payroll Protection Plan, which we'll talk a little bit about as well. And then, of course, there's still the grants or the immediate upfront money of $10,000. What it looks like is that the SBA is trying their best to make it so that you can apply in one place and then select the options you'd like to be considered for in the process. I did see that this morning where they allow you to click the button or the box for the $10,000 grant or the $10,000 media assistance. So we'll jump in real quick. I'm going to show you guys the new updated application process. What you want to understand about this real quick is, what it is and what it isn't. What it is a much faster way to do the core application. What it is not, or what we don't know yet, is what's happening after you do that. What I do also know is that as of this morning, I'm testing the call queue times for the SBA site. And currently, we are an hour and 6 minutes in. And the call queue, when I first got on, said that I was caller number 1087. So we'll track that in the background, let you know how the call queue is going. But they are definitely swamped. So I'm going to walk you through the application process, the revised version now. Super simple. You can do it in just a couple of minutes. What you'll need before you start is your total gross sales 12 months prior to January of this year. So essentially all of last year, what your 12-month prior sales volume were, and then your cost of goods sold and any ownership information for the business owner. There's a couple stipulations to qualify. You'll see what those are here in a minute. I'll go through it quickly, so let's get down to it. Okay, let me minimize this. Okay, so you see the screen here. All this still is the same. So you go here, just an update, caller 640. So in the application process, it is much more streamlined. You'll notice there's a control number up here. Don't have all the information on what the control number is just yet. It seems to be the same no matter what, because I'm using an incognito browser. This is just going to be a demo one. So real quick, eligibility verification. So you have to decide what you are here. Most under the designation are going to fall under a business with not more than 500 employees. If you're a sole proprietor with or without employees, or you're an independent contractor. So independent contractors, you can fill this out. So the basic stipulations, if you're not more than 500 employees, if you're an ESOP, which if you don't know what that is, then you don't need to worry about it. Travel small business concerns, they're outlined in U.S. code here, but not more than 500. If you're a business, including agricultural cooperative, enterprise, nursery, or producer cooperative, that's small under the SBA standards here. So you can read through this. It's very simple. This is for nonprofits. So most of you here will fall under one of these two categories. So we'll just click here. Now, on this second section, you have to be able to check all these boxes to actually be eligible. If you cannot, then you are ineligible for the program. So we're going to just click through these real quick. Essentially, can't be engaged in any activity. No applicant on here of 50% ownership or more can be delinquent more than 60 days to apply for child support obligations. So obviously now, if you're in the adult entertainment industry and you derive your gross revenues from that. It appears to be a disqualification on here. I don't know the details. I'm waiting for the Office of Information to provide more details on that. Also, if you don't derive a third of your gross income from legal gambling activities, so if you're a gambling entity and you get most of your income from there, can't apply. So you can read through these, super simple. Hit continue. So this is just going to be Test Business LLC, Test Business, and you can see how fast this goes. So 81475222. Organization type, so you're going to choose here. So LLC would be this one. Is it a nonprofit? No. If you are, click yes. Franchises are eligible under this. You just have to be careful to understand how it's designated, but we're just going to hit no. Gross revenue is $990,999. Cost of goods sales, $99,000. So this is where you need that brief information. Rental properties, if you have, as a business, any rental properties income that has been lost due to this, like lost rents by people not paying rent, or commercial properties not paying rent, this is where you would put it. If you're a nonprofit, this is where you get your operating costs, put those in, and then combine operating expenses for the 12 months prior date. And then this goes into nonprofits for religious organizations, those type of things. And then if you've received any compensation under the disaster relief programs or from any relief that you've been provided, any compensation sources you'll list there. These are trackable sources you receive. Don't have to list your uncle, your aunt, or somebody else that's given you. Well, let me rephrase that. If it's not trackable and they can't validate it, and you can't provide validation of it, and it's somebody that's just giving you a donation or something like that, if it's not trackable, they can't track it, you can't track it. It's very difficult to have a conversation about that. All else sales, put it down, but if you can't track it, it's hard for them to see the impact of it. You might omit it, but you're going to have to consult your accountant or attorney on that. Okay, you'll notice that these red dots here, these are the information you must provide. This is, obviously just the gross revenues, cost of goods sold, and then primary business address. So we're just going to list 918 250 9999. So we're just going to put required information in here, test@testmail.com. Okay, so date your business was established. The business needs to have been established prior to February of this year. So if it was established in January, you can still apply. You're just going to have to provide some additional documentation to show that. We're just going to show this as 2011. Ownership 01, 2011. Business activity, this is, again, very simple, straightforward. You list what it is, say business services, and then they ask for detail. This is very simplified. If it doesn't apply, just click none of the above. Number of employees, just put that there. Next. Now, this is where you put the information, 918-999-9999, your title information, owner. Now, if you have more than one officer, this is where you put it. Again, going back to the ownership structure, whatever you are, you need to list all the ownership information on here that's listed on your articles of organization for your corporation, your LLC, whatever it is, okay? If you've chosen back previous screen that you're a sole proprietorship, you put in your ownership and social security number for the actual owners of the business. Obviously sole proprietor typically is one person, but maybe it's you and your spouse. Make sure you enter that information here, and you can see here where you can add that additional owner. It will show them in the drop down, and you do that for as many ownership that's there. I'm going to remove that for the sake of this application. I'm going to put in here 100% email test at testmail.com. Don't know if it's going to let us do it this way. We'll just try it. Okay, we're just going to do 01011975. Place of birth. Okay, U.S. citizen, yes. Okay. There we go, Jinx. Oklahoma. Okay, and just as an update, we're caller number 566 out of 1,000, over 1,000 originally. We're hour and 16 in. All right, so we've got everything put in. What are we missing here? Oh, is your business owned by a business entity? Okay. So again, if you have, so a lot of people that do asset protection, things like that, especially if you do like real estate investing, those type of things, you might have an LLC, a core LLC that owns another LLC, and this is that LLC that owns those properties that you receive investment or rental income from directly. So this is where you select yes or no. 99% of the people that are watching this video, you're going to just select no because you're not owned by another business entity. But if you're more advanced and you are somebody who has done this, some sort of asset protection or layered corporate ownership for privacy reasons, whatever, this is where you click yes or no. If you click yes, you're going to have to provide the parent entity information. Now, keep in mind that this loan is going directly to the applying entity or individual or sole proprietor or independent contractor. So in addition to that, you need to understand that you can file for as many business entities that you own that are separated by EIN, meaning they have to have their own corporate or sole proprietor designation. Or excuse me, let me correct that. It needs to have its own corporate identity separate from your social security number. If you're a sole proprietor and you own multiple businesses, that's where you're likely going to run into a problem. If you own multiple LLCs or corporations or some combination thereof, it doesn't matter. You can apply for the assistance for all of those entities with those separate EINs or tax ID numbers. So I'm going to click no here, hit next. Okay, so you can see we're almost done now. So in this information here, these are just disclaimers. Have you been convicted of a felony or criminal offense? Is anybody suspended or disbarred from federal government or receiving funds, grants, or loans? So if you have been, obviously you don't apply. Are you presently subject to an indictment, criminal investigation, or information, etc.? Any jurisdiction, have you been arrested 6 months for any criminal offense other than minor legal, etc.? You need to click yes or no here. So click no on those. Now, if anybody as a third party is filling this out for someone else, you need to put this information in here, okay? If not, like for example, I'm doing this video for you. I'm helping you understand what to do to apply. You don't have to put my information here. You're just following the guidelines of what you see on how to do it. If somebody specifically is filing this on behalf of someone else, you're going to need to provide this information because once they start working on the loan application, if you're a third party that's helping somebody through it, they're going to look at you as a designee. So you need to make sure that you give them permission to do this, or you've been given permission to assist them through the process. For this video, I'm just going to click no. Now, see this right here? To be considered for an advance of up to $10,000. So this is part of the CARES Act and the EIDL program where you can get an immediate $10,000 infusion to bridge you over the short term. So obviously if you click that, you'll be set up for that. So here you put in your, I'm just going to put a dummy account here. Okay. It's 9 digits, 1, 2, 3, 3, 6, 9. Okay. Fair enough. Okay. So you put in your bank information, your funds deposited to. These are all of the disclaimers. So clearly read the disclaimers, because that is what you're saying in the perjury that you say is true and correct. If you click here, there's additional information on this. I suggest you look at this to understand the disclaimers. Very simple, straightforward. But go back here, you click this, and now you review the information, okay? Once you review the information, you've made sure it's correct. Select this, okay? And now you've got your summary, and now you hit submit. Here's your application number, okay? Make sure that you save this or store this. The next step is you're going to receive an email from SBA.gov. See right here, you'll notified when your application has been processed. Right now, there is no listed time for what that is. We don't know. The application changed just in the last 24 to 48 hours. You know, best guess on our side, what we see this is a way for them to fast track the core application process and not get bogged down in all the additional forms that you need to process, because that was a bottleneck. So again, the only thing we can say about this is that it has sped up the process, but it has not actually given us any data yet to understand how much faster it is or what the guidelines are right now. I will check my current email to see if there's any updates. It does not look like we have any updates. We will update you as soon as we talk to the office information in regards to this. But as of right now, I do not see any updates at the making of this video, and there are no updates currently on the website. So as I get updates coming in, I will let all of you know. In the meantime, stay safe, stay smart. Hopefully your families, all your employees, everyone else is safe and sound where they are. In the meantime, just remember, we're going to get through this. It's just a matter of time. And, you know, consider to think about where you are, or continue to consider and think about where you are in your business and what you can do as a business to provide value to your community and to really drive, the help in your community any way you can. Clearly, the U.S. government has taken a step forward. It will be a little bit messy in the process, and it's not going to be simple. Do not expect that just because this is a faster application process that somehow the funds are going to be available quicker. They may or may not be. We don't know. Also, stay tuned, because as soon as they give us the criteria for the payroll protection plan, which allows you to file for what they claim to be same day or within a couple days funding on payroll coverage, we will let you know as soon as we know the information on that. We'll do a separate video on how to apply for that, because we're waiting for the guidelines and parameters for that. As soon as we get it, look to our channel here. We'll make sure that we provide it to you. In the meantime, again, stay safe. American business owners, hang in there. I know it's a tough time. We'll talk to you soon.